8-year-old was asked by her mom one day what she wanted to do when she grew up. And she said, I want to be famous. And her mom said, well, famous? How do you plan on doing that? She said, I don't know. So her mom left her to think about it. And she thought about it, as much as any 5-year-old gives something like that thought. And she replied back later, I want to be a famous teacher. That young lady, ladies and gentlemen, is myself, Jennifer Alexis Pitts. The Marines had a saying on a television ad some years back, looking for a few good men. And I like to think that's what most employers are doing nowadays, looking for a few good men and women. And in the education field, when you have a few good men and women, that leads to good teachers. And good teachers lead to good students, good citizens, a good community, and a good community and overall generally good life. So in the next few moments, I want to take the opportunity to show you how I am one of those few good women that can lead to a few more good men and women. So let's start off with some things that I think you should know about me. First, my background in college is biology with the initial interest to become a pediatrician. But as I continued throughout my college career, I realized that I enjoyed working with children, but I didn't want to work with them in that capacity. So I stopped focusing so much on my studies and I started focusing more on volunteer work in my local church and community centers. And that is how I got started working in a youth group. That I'm very passionate. I am driven by the sincere desire to see people succeed in every aspect and area of their life. So going back to my volunteer time during college, that's where I got my inspiration to want to become a teacher. Working with my first class in the youth ministry, a group of kids that I just love and even to this day still have contact with. And just working with them and having the opportunity to teach some Bible lessons and real life lessons and just share with them on a personal level about some of the struggles that they were going with and some of the struggles that I've even gone through that were similar to theirs was just so enjoyable. It really did inspire me to want to work in the education field and work with this particular age group of middle and high school students. But that wasn't the case initially when I first started volunteering there. One of the most significant challenges of my life is just overcoming fear. And so when I was initially approached and asked to be part of the youth ministry, I hesitated and backed down a lot of times and told them no, I didn't want to, because I was used and comfortable working with younger kids in elementary school, and it was more comfortable for me. But eventually I overcame that fear in that particular area and a lot of areas of my life. And how I did that was learning more and more how to trust and lean and depend on God and increase in my faith walk. And that's how I got the blessed and wonderful opportunity to work with this age group and work with those students and have found out that this is my heart's desire to work with students in this particular age group in the school system. So, experiences that I've had with middle and high school students, again, comes from my initial onset of working and volunteering in a youth ministry. And then as I was doing that, I had the opportunity to be the youth ministry choir director as well as a musician for them. And then I've also had the opportunity while I was in high school and college to tutor students in both middle school and high school in the area and subjects of math and science. And I had the opportunity to assist in special needs pre-K and life skills classrooms as well as developmentally delayed classrooms. So I've had the opportunity to work with students with diversity in several different arenas, several different classroom types. I've also had the opportunity to work with ELL students and students that get pulled out for research, as well as general education students when I had the opportunity to be a substitute teacher for kindergarten through 6th grade. So there are some qualities that I think make me an effective teacher, and that is I'm dependable, accountable, fun-loving, and trustworthy. And I didn't just take my word for that. I've asked students in the past from substituting as well as from the youth ministry some of their thoughts on it. Some of them shared some of the very same things that I mentioned to you right now. So I'm very proud and humbled to be able to come and tell you that today. But another thing that I think makes me an effective teacher, I'll preference with the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And I say this because that shows teamwork. And I think teamwork is a very effective quality for any teacher to have and understand and demonstrate. So knowing that you're not the only person in this child's life, there's other people in this child's life that influence them to do good or to do bad. And hopefully that I can be a part of the team that helps influence the child to do good and become a productive citizen. So some other qualities that I think are necessary for effective teachers. One being flexibility. And I think that I am flexible. I'm adaptable. I've had the opportunity as an assistant to educational assistant to plan lessons for diverse learners, and had the opportunity to differentiate some of those lessons for my diverse learners. So in case that, the way the lesson is planned out, they don't quite get it or don't quite understand or can't quite grasp the concept, I've used music videos and songs and art projects and things like that to help the students understand what the lesson's objective is for the day. Another thing is organizational skills. I consider myself a fairly organized person. I have plenty of calendars. I have calendars all around my house, on my phone, on my tablet, on my computer, everywhere. Even handwritten calendars. And this is just to help me stay on track with everything that's in my life, whether it be personal or work related. And another thing that I think has helped me stay organized and becoming a more organized person is I took a class a few years back, and it was with a coworker of mine, and I enjoyed that class. We enjoyed it, and one of the things that I remember most from it is functionality. The instructor said that if it's not functional, it won't last. So it doesn't matter if it looks neat from onset, if it looks pretty, if it's organized looking from the onset. If it doesn't function, it's not going to last, and it's going to turn back into mess and chaos. So I try to keep that in the forefront of my mind when it comes to organizing things. Is it functional? Another quality is time management, and I think that's assisted by being an organized person. And also I believe that it's assisted by knowing how to delegate. Knowing how to delegate can help you use your time wisely. I remember saying all the time to my students in my youth ministry class, and even to their parents sometimes, and it would make them chuckle, that I'm not afraid to put a team to work. And that simply was just saying that I don't have to do everything in and of myself, that I can delegate some responsibilities to my students. And that also gives them a sense of pride and a sense of ownership to the classroom and the objectives that are set at hand. Patience. Patience is a virtue, as some people say. Patience is something that I am still working out on, but I am getting better and better day by day. And one of the things that helps me is the scripture in Hebrews 12:1 that says, "Wherefore, seeing we are also encompassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and sin, which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." And I think that that's a great scripture to stand on when it comes to practicing patience, because it lets you know that there's a goal set before you, and you're running with patience to get to that goal and to accomplish that goal. So you can't let frustration sidetrack you. You can't let a little craziness in the classroom sidetrack you, but you have to go towards the goal and push towards the goal that's been set in front of you with patience. So, as a first year teacher, I would measure my success by the success of the students, and that would be in 3 different areas: academically, socially, and morally. Academically, it's not whether they pass or fail my class, whether they get an A, B, C, or D. It's not just that, because I want all my students to pass my class, but ultimately it's, do they have more knowledge of the content of the subject matter than they at the end of the year than they had at the beginning of the year. And that goes the same for their social and moral skills. Are they able to make better and more wise decisions at the end of the year than they were at the beginning of the year? Are they working better with their classmates in the community? So all those things I would take into consideration. That shows me whether or not I've been effective and successful throughout my first year of teaching. So, in conclusion, I'd like to let you know that I believe that students would be enthusiastic about attending my class. And at the end of it all, they not only gain in content knowledge of the subject matter, but they'd be more well-rounded individuals, eventually leading to productive citizens of society. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and I hope to hear from you soon.